Good evening. I've also obviously been asked to share a few words about my experience this past year with seminary. Yeah. All right, bear with me here. I'm actually from the remote teaching site, the West Institute in Laramie, and while my wife and kids, I might not make my time run. Well, they couldn't make it here with us. I believe they are watching remotely. So I'd like to take just a moment and thank them from the bottom of my heart for their support, their patience, and understanding during this last year. This year has truly been an amazing experience, and I have learned so much from the professors at Shepherds, as well as amazing staff, Clayton, Jimmy, and Jeremy at the West Institute. One thing that Clayton and Jimmy had told me at the beginning of the year, and probably most of the other West students, was that this would likely be one of the hardest years and one of the best years of our life. And they weren't kidding. While I've learned so much studying everything from the Old and New Testament to church history and expository preaching and pretty much everything in between, the biggest blessing has been the growth in my personal relationship with the Lord. And getting to see God work in our lives. This past year, my family and I have experienced plenty of trials and struggles. But we've gotten to experience God's provision and goodness through those. If you had tried to tell me some of the things I would experience at the beginning of the year, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Like most college students, we were living on a limited budget, and when you add in a couple kids to it, things can get a little bit tighter. But God is so good. Like one day, you get an unexpected check in the mail for $1,500. And we were praying about the best way to use that money. And the next day, an unexpected bill rolls in for $1,500. Like when you have an unexpected change in your income. And you have no money left in your checking account halfway through the month. And likely, due to pride, we hadn't told anyone. We were trying to figure out what to do. And then some friends paid my wife $200 for babysitting for a couple hours. Just because they wanted to bless us. I still don't think they understand how big of a blessing that truly was. My family and I have gotten to see God's provision and goodness so many times this year that it would actually take me a little while to talk about them all. Everything from even getting accepted into the degree program, to financial provision, to personal family hardships. And even just the amazing people that God has put in our lives and friendships we have made during this year. The Heart Study Discipleship program was also one of the highlights of the year. Clayton, Jimmy, and Jeremy, along with their wives, led the students and spouses through the weekly devotions that helped us to not just know Scripture, but to better understand how to apply it to every area of our lives, and to also help in identifying struggles and sin in our lives that many of us didn't recognize was there or didn't recognize the extent that it had on our lives. My wife and I were blessed to be able to walk through that not only with amazing staff, but with the other West Institute students and spouses that we now consider friends. I would be more than happy to share more about our experiences and blessings from this year, but you have to catch me after the ceremony because we're told to stay between 3 and 5 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I can hear a stopwatch ticking somewhere behind me. Seriously though, everything from the classroom lectures to group discussions to the discipleship sessions and life lessons, I have such a great understanding for the love and sovereignty of God. And I have been truly blessed. And I'm thankful, not just for the opportunity, but also for all the time and hard work put into it by the professors and the staff at Shepherds and the West Institute. We couldn't have the experience we do without the hard work that you do. So thank you.